Errands, please tidy up this place.
No!
Wow, how did you guys do it?
We got cleaners.
Cleaners?
You know it, Dad.
Cleaner, it works.
Coming up next on Plus TV, Plus News. Join our news team for half hour of local and national news. Plus News, informative, balanced, accurate, and current.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off.
Belize Communications Workers for Justice to receive severance from Belize Telemedia Limited. National Bus Company to begin runs on the 1st of March, and public servant charged with $15,000 theft from Cookie Tree Water Board. These stories and more coming up next on Plus News. Stay tuned.
This newscast is brought to you through the courtesy of Builders Hardware, your home improvement warehouse.
So this is how much I work to you then?
So what, you may want 3 then?
Sure. You ought to order.
Sure. And I may think flowers may romantic. Did you just get your girl 1 flower? Now you're in trouble? A poor man out there, man. That's sin.
Your girl doesn't just want 1 flower, she wants a garden.
But builders, they're too far.
That's why we brought the store to you.
At shopbuildersbz.com, we make it easier to find all your building needs. Shop anytime, enjoy delivery right at your door, and save with every purchase. For February only, first-time users get to enjoy a special reward when signing up.
Kenneth!
Oh, yeah.
Like you do all of this?
Yes, with Builders Hardware.
Festival come to this very nation.
In Isaiah 30:29 it says, and you will sing as on the night you celebrate a holy festival, and your heart will rejoice. The body of Christ will unite, and many hearts will rejoice on the Saturday, March 7, 2026 at the Believe. Also showcasing one of the biggest gospel artists from out of Trinidad and Tobago, Positive, dropping his hit tunes.
Rolling in my two-man army, my Jesus and I wanna sing out some sweet gospel reggae. Blessing after blessing and nothing can hold it back.
And then it's the return of the biggest gospel band in Belize, Heavenly.
I'm gonna be heavenlies for life, serving Jesus Christ.
From Atlanta, Georgia, USA, the daughter of the world-famous televangelist Creflo Dollar, none other than Jordan Dollar, with her hit song. Also highlighting Genesis 5:01 from Capital City, Pemberton. Blind Sight, Genesis Gospel Band from Sugar City Orange Walk, Reality Youth, Pastor Herman Blees and the Kings Park Prince team, Pastor Frederick Gordon and Garin Carvalho and his GCO group. Remember Jesus Festival.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus. Rocking on the world. I said Jesus.
Taking place Saturday, March 7, Belize Civic Center from 6 p.m. until. Bring out the entire family for a time of praising God and witnessing souls being saved and lives being recommitted to God. For tickets, call 615-4766. That's 615-4766. Sponsors: Angela's Press, Racina's Imports, Cellular World, Love FM, More FM, Quem Radio, Vibes Radio, PlusTV, Channel 7, Channel 5, and Wave Radio. Come on out and be blessed.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus.
Good evening and welcome to Plus News for Tuesday, February 17, 2026. I am Julian Cruz. After weeks of protesting and making their voices heard, today the members of the Belize Communications Workers for Justice, the BCWJ, were told by Belize Telemedia Limited that they would be receiving their severance payments. Late last year, the Caribbean Court of Justice ruled that BTL was breaking the law by not paying severance to over 500 former employees from 1994 through to 2025. Despite the court's ruling, the majority of the former employees still did not receive their payments. After months of trying to get BTL's attention, the membership of the BCWJ decided to take to the streets and demonstrate. After 2 weeks of protesting, today the membership of the BCWJ got what they wanted. A meeting was held between BTL and the executive of the Belize Communication Workers for Justice earlier today in Belize City. According to Emily Turner, former president of the union, BTL has agreed to pay all their former employees who weren't receiving severance from 1994 to present day.
It was a very fruitful meeting. We had a long discussion about a lot of the discussion was around the data that we have available since 1994. There's a gap of information that is not available digitally from 1994 to 2005, which we will have to examine along with BTL to be able to determine what were the circumstances of those employees. So we did have a very good, fruitful meeting in terms of collaboration, in exchange of information. We have some information, they have some information that they will share with us, and so that we can look at some of that data that we have a gap with. The systems that we have digitalized since 2005 to 2025, that data is now in the systems. Those data can be validated. So that's not the challenge. So now we are just we're gonna have to go back and focus on how do we establish that data that we have that we have some gaps on. So now in terms of what we have accomplished today, we accomplished a lot in terms of we've arrived that BTL has agreed to pay the severance. We do have now. We are discussing the interest payment that would be done, and on both sides, we have to take it back to our groups, and we will be discussing those figures. We're expecting something to come back to us from BTL by Thursday, and then we are supposed to take back something to our members over the weekend, and then we intend to meet next week. Our intention is to try to close this off in the next 2 weeks. I think for the most it will be about 2 weeks. But it was a very good meeting, very collaborative. I think the spirits in there. We all spoke I think it was a lot of discussions around working with each other in good faith. They have included all the employees. The number they gave us is 564. Even people that are not included in our group that we're representing will be paid. So they have already looked at the severance amount for those people. So we will obviously we only have the data for the people that are working with our group, but BTL has committed that even the people that are not part of any group, they will be reaching out to those people to get this make this payment to them, because they want to settle this. They want to settle it with all the employees that then worked at BTL within the years from 1994 up to 2025, when they were not paying severance.
We'll bring you more on this development in tomorrow's newscast. After months of consultations between the Ministry of Transport and the country's 30 bus operators, the National Bus Company, NBC, is officially gearing up for its long-awaited launch on the 1st of March, which is next month. Yesterday, the Ministry of Transport held a press conference in Belmopan alongside their stakeholders, where they shared updates to the nation regarding the ministry's plans for the next 5 years. The ministry's plan is to create a modern, safe, reliable, efficient, and green intercity bus transportation system, including upgrading bus terminals by 2030. Anna Marie, the Director of Planning and Research at the Ministry of Transport and CEO within the ministry, Chester Williams, spoke about how the new NBC model will not only benefit the country, but also the operators who opted to sign on.
Where we are headed, a consolidated modern intercity bus system. It also includes modern terminals, and as a picture that you see there represents what the artists have as a modern bus terminal for Belize City, and this is the modern bus terminal for Orange Walk Town.
We have engaged Courtney and Coy law firm to develop the legal framework for us. One, they are working on the article and memorandum of association that is going to be used to incorporate the company. And I'm happy to say to you that that company has been formed last week. So we now have a national bus company. So we believe certainly that what is being done this time is financially viable and is going to be beneficial not just to the shareholders, but most importantly to the commuters who we expect to benefit from this venture.
And in the name of modernization and efficiency, Minister of Transport Louis Zabane says that they are also looking to implement a cashless system where commuters will be able to catch the bus using a transport card that is being developed in collaboration with Digi.
So going forward, a part of that pilot has been the work that you have done in partnership with Digi with the cashless system. So we've met twice, I believe, with the team from Digi. And the idea is that across the country now, we will want to roll out, and this is where we're certainly grateful to all the media houses who are here to inform our people that in the coming weeks and months, we will be talking about and starting to activate this cashless system, for which you have your card and you tap and you pay. And we're working closely with Digi. We're hoping to come very soon to a full agreement where the present buses would be, we install the equipment on it, and then when the new buses come, they can easily be transferred over to the new buses. And so that, as Mr. Pinello mentioned, and CEO, that 30–40% that does not reach the bank accounts of the good hard-working operators could now reach the bank account of the National Bus Company. That makes a huge difference in terms of the bottom line, in terms of the profitability, viability, and sustainability of this new venture.
Out of the country's 30 established bus operators, 17 have agreed to sign on to the National Bus Company. Later this week, the operators will officially sign their contracts under the NBC, which is set to officially start running on the 1st of March.
all the operators here who are now owners, or technically will be owners by the time they sign their subscriptions. They have already signed an agreement that is not technically the subscription, for which they have agreed to be fully a part of the company. Now the technical legal instrument, the subscription, they will be doing that, as I said, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Once that is completed, then they are technically then shareholders of the company. The government putting in its part as well will sign on as well. And so March 1st, which is a Sunday, is when it launches. All the road service permits, all the buses that then start servicing on March 1st are then going to be technically National Bus Company owned. All the terminals, we're having all of those in there, and then we go forward to develop the company together.
As previously reported, only 17 of the country's 30 bus operators have chosen to participate in the National Bus Company. Under the ownership structure, the participating operators will collectively hold 39% of the company. The government will retain a 45% stake, and the remaining 15% will be owned by institutional investors. Accountant Emil Pinello says that with the equity breakdown, the 17 operators can expect a 30% increase in revenues due to the company being owned and protected by the government.
The equity structure is what really forms the existence of the company. Based on this equity structure is how shares will be allotted, essentially. Operators' total contribution is $19,467,614, please. Government, as indicated in the previous slide, is $22,752,600. Institutional investors, $7,500. Institutional investors, we've seen interest expressed by insurance companies, to be honest, and we've also had the expressed interest by Social Security Board, as discussed earlier. Now, on a percentage share, as you could tell on the right side of that slide, operators will have 39.15% of shares, Government of Belize 45.76%, institutional investors 15.08%. This slide indicates a graphical impression of the percentages as just described earlier. Bus operators were presented with existing profits based on what they had provided to us. And then that data was then collected to come up with what would be our projected profits.
The National Bus Company is set to have its inaugural run on the 1st of March, 2026. A public servant has been charged with $15,000 theft from the Crooked Tree Water Board. More on that when Plus News returns.
So this is how much I work to you then.
So what, you may want 3 then?
Sure. You ought to order.
Sure. And I may think flowers may romantic. Did you just get your girl 1 flower? Now you're in trouble? A poor man out there, man. That's sin.
Your girl doesn't just want 1 flower, she wants a garden.
But builders, they're too far.
That's why we brought the store to you.
At shopbuildersbz.com, we make it easier to find all your building needs. Shop anytime, enjoy delivery right at your door, and save with every purchase. For February only, first-time users get to enjoy a special reward when signing up.
Ken!
Oh, yeah.
Like you do all of this?
Yes, with builders hardware.
Every connection we make is more than just a signal. It's a student unlocking a future through digital education. A young mind daring to dream bigger. Our culture shared with the world in real time. And everyday heroes answering the call of civic duty. When we connect with Digi, we empower Belize.
We will keep doing what we're doing until every child in this country drinks clean water. When every child in this country drinks clean water, then we know we have gotten to a really good place. And we are working very hard to achieve that. Today's handover represents a concrete step towards expanding safe and reliable water services for children and families. Access to safe water is essential for health, education, resilience, especially in rural communities where challenges remain greatest.
As leaders, we have to have a vision of wanting to improve the lives of our people. And we don't know it all, but by working with the community, we come to the community and we identify the needs of our community. And by doing so, we can then work together, the government in partnership with very important organizations like UNICEF. The work of supporting our people, be it in water, in electricity, in roads, in health and education, has to be a partnership with other partners.
Festival come to this very nation.
In Isaiah 30:29 it says, "And you will sing as on the night you celebrate a holy festival, and your heart will rejoice." The body of Christ will unite, and many hearts will rejoice on the Saturday, March 7, 2026 at the Belize Civic Center, beginning at 6 p.m. as a Heavenly's Productions brings to you Jesus Festival.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus.
Featuring the hottest gospel artist coming out of the Bahamas, Sherwin Gardner.
So I say, with all of my heart and all of my soul, I worship you, O Jah. Tell them that the praise will never stop. All I want to do is give you the highest praise.
Also showcasing one of the biggest gospel artists from out of Trinidad and Tobago, Positive, dropping his hit tunes.
Rolling in my two-man army, my Jesus and I wanna sing out some sweet gospel reggae. Blessing after blessing and nothing can hold it back.
And then it's the return of the biggest gospel band in Belize, Heavenly.
I'm gonna be heavenly's for life, serving Jesus Christ.
Georgia, USA, the daughter of the world-famous televangelist Creflo Dollar, none other than Jordan Dollar, with her hit song. Also highlighting Genesis 501 from Capital City, Pemberton. Blind Sight, Genesis Gospel Band from Sugar City, Orange Walk. Reality Youth, Pastor Herman Blees and the Kings Park Prince team. Pastor Frederick Gordon and Garin Carvalho and his GCO group. Remember, Jesus Festival. Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus. Rocking on the world. I said Jesus. Taking place Saturday, March 7, Belize Civic Center from 6 p.m. until. Bring out the entire family for a time of praising God and witnessing souls being saved and lives being recommitted to God. For tickets, call 615-4766. That's 615-4766. Sponsors: Angela's Press, Racina's Imports, Cellular World, Love FM, More FM, Quem Radio, Vibes Radio, Plus TV, Channel 7, Channel 5, and Wave Radio. Come on out and be blessed. Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus.
Come to Banquet, find your way. Engines roar at the break of day. Volvo outboard surf the waves. Castrol oil is what they crave. Live with power, feel the sound. Heavy machines shake the ground. Riding Honda, feeling proud. Rev it up and shout aloud. Feel the wind against your skin. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up, and let's take flight. Kohler's power runs our towns. JCB lifts heavy pounds. Find the tools to build your dreams. Banquip's got the best machines. Grip the wheel and never slip. Feel the rush, it's time to trip. Every brand you know and love. Banquip fits you like a glove. Feel the wind against your skin. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquip, where dreams ignite. Gear up, and let's take flight.
Banquip, equipment, parts, service. We represent quality.
40-year-old public servant Nemencio Cristolobo Acosta has been charged with theft in connection with the alleged misappropriation of $15,315.50 from the Crooked Tree Water Board. Acosta, an employee of the Ministry of Rural Transformation, appeared unrepresented this afternoon before Manon Denison in court number 6. No plea was taken as the prosecution indicated its intention to proceed by indictment. With no objection from the prosecution, bail was granted in the sum of $5,000 plus one surety of the same amount, which Acosta met later in the evening. His bail conditions include reporting weekly to the Corozal police station and surrendering his travel privileges without court approval. Acosta was also required to settle an outstanding court fine of $255 stemming from a 2016 traffic conviction before posting bail. His next court appearance is scheduled for April 17, 2026. 21-year-old Cameron Thomas has been fined $4,005 after pleading guilty to possession of marijuana with intent to supply. Thomas was an unemployed resident of Barbara Harris Street in CET site area, appeared before Manon Denison, where he accepted responsibility for 1.3 pounds of marijuana found at the residence of Angelique Annette Mejia. He told the court that the drugs belonged to him. Taking into account that it was Thomas's first offense, the magistrate opted against imposing the mandatory minimum fine of $10,000 or a custodial sentence. Instead, the court ordered him to pay $4,005 by September 30, 2026, in default of which he will serve 1 year in prison. The charge arose from a police operation on February 14, 2026, during a mobile patrol in the set site area, where officers searched the residence and discovered the marijuana concealed in a suitcase under a bed. Thomas was initially charged jointly with Mejia and Ralston McDonald, but took responsibility for the drugs. The Belize Magistrates Court has ruled that Mark Stephen Godoy, 22, is not competent to stand trial, resulting in the dismissal of 2 firearm-related charges against him. Following a competency hearing, the court struck out charges of keeping a firearm and keeping ammunition without a license. Godoy, a resident of Santa Barbara Street, was initially arraigned on July 3, 2023, in connection with allegations stemming from a July 1, 2023 incident when police reported finding him in possession of a 9mm pistol and ammunition. Senior Magistrate Manon Dennison based the ruling on expert testimony presented during the hearing, which raised concerns about Godoy's mental fitness to participate in trial proceedings. As a result, the matter could not proceed and the charges were formally dismissed at the lower court. Dr. Harold Young, appointed as Belize's new ambassador to UN office in Geneva. We'll be right back with that story.
So this is how much I work to you then.
So what, you may want 3 then?
Sure. You ought to order.
Sure. And I may think flowers may romantic. Did you just get your girl 1 flower? Now you're in trouble? The poor man out there, man. That's sin. Your girl doesn't just want 1 flower. She wants a garden. But builders are too far. That's why we brought the store to you.
At shopbuildersbz.com, we make it easier to find all your building needs. Shop anytime, enjoy delivery right at your door, and save with every purchase. For February only, first-time users get to enjoy a special reward when signing up.
Ken!
Ota!
That you do all of this?
Yes, with Builders Hardware.
Cada conexión es más que solo una señal, es un estudiante abriendo las puertas a su futuro a través de la educación digital. Una mente joven atreviéndose a soñar en grande. Nuestra cultura compartida con el mundo en tiempo real. Y héroes cotidianos respondiendo al llamado del deber cívico. Cuando nos conectamos con Digi, empoderamos a Belice.
Our Belize City is growing because of continued investment. From rehabilitated streets to expanding neighborhoods, significant investments are improving how our city functions and how our communities live. In the last 2 years alone, more than 250 streets have been rehabilitated, representing almost $34 million invested directly in physical infrastructure that improves access and quality of life. At the same time, the city continues to expand. Developments such as the Holy Emmanuel area, also known as Gungulung, reflect increased demand for land and housing as Belize City expands in a more sustainable and resilient way. These planned developments support safer communities and long-term sustainability, contributing to rising property values across the city. Under the Town's Property Evaluation Act, property values are required to be reviewed every 5 years. The last valuation adjustment was done in 2013. This adjustment simply brings property values closer to today's market reality, while the tax rate itself remains unchanged. Let's break it down. For a vacant property valued at $25,000, we charged an annual 2% rate, which works out to a payment of $500. Under the new assessment, the property value has appreciated by 40%, making the property now worth $35,000. Therefore, the new amount to be paid will be 2% of $35,000, which works out to $700. For an occupied property valued at $25,000, we charge an annual 10% rate, which works out to $2,500. Under the new assessment, the property's value has appreciated by 18%, making the property now worth $29,500. Therefore, the new amount to be paid will be 10% of $29,500, which works out to $2,950. To support property owners, your Belize City Council is encouraging residents to take advantage of the ongoing property tax prepayment incentives. Property owners receive 15% off in January, 10% off in February, and 5% in March. And senior citizens receive a 35% discount year-round. Remember, this adjustment represents an appreciation in your property's worth, not a change in tax rates, ensuring continued investment in your city while providing valuable data for informing investors, municipal bondholders, and individual credit assessments. And we want residents to know the law provides a clear mechanism for review and appeal if needed. Those who believe their valuation does not fairly reflect their property have the right to engage the Belize City Valuation Appeals Board. Your Belize City Council remains committed to openness, accountability, and ensuring that growth is managed fairly for everyone. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, text, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
Drop it like it's hot.
Prime Minister John Briceño has appointed Harold A. Young as Belize's new ambassador and permanent representative to the United Nations office in Geneva. Ambassador Young formally presented his credentials today to Tatiana Valovaya, Director General of the UN office in Geneva. Dr. Young brings extensive academic experience, having served most recently as an associate professor of political science and public management at Austin, PA State University, and as an advisor to the Department of History at the University of Belize. He earned his PhD in public law from Georgia State University in 2016 with doctoral research focused on extraterritorial courts, drawing on the work of the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council. Ambassador Young is also a published author on history, law, and politics, and will be nominated for accreditation to the World Trade Organization. And our congratulations go out to Dr. Young. And that brings us to the end of our newscast for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning into Plus News, and be sure to join us right back here again tomorrow evening when we bring you all the latest happenings from around the country. Until then, God bless. Do have yourselves a lovely evening. We'll see you here again tomorrow. Bye-bye.